All right, we're back again. And today, this is a good one, y'all. This is a special interview for me. I have got my man. You know what? I'm not even going to introduce you. I'm going to let y'all meet Larry. Go for it, Larry.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on, driver? Hello? This your boy L Boogie with the hoodie. You know I'm blessing the Lord, highly favored, excited about Jesus, excited about the word of God. My cup is running over, and I still want some more. How about you? My name is Larry, and guess what? I be on the road trucking every single day, making that moolah, keeping the sunny side up and the rubber side down, keeping it between the mayo and the mustard so I can get to that lettuce. Hello.
I told y'all this is going to be special. This is going
It
to be a good
is.
one. Well, Larry, before we get into this, man, I just want you to know, obviously you've got some celebrity coming with you there. But all that aside, man, thank you so much for doing what you do to keep this country moving, man. The whole reason why I'm interviewing drivers is to put the voices out there and bring awareness to what y'all do to keep this country moving and enable our way of life. So thank you.
Hey, thank you too, man, for the opportunity to be able to listen to our voices and to get our voice out there to the world.
Amen to that. Amen to that. So, first things first, how long you been driving?
Man, I've been driving since 2007, and
Oh, wow.
it was a when I started driving because I kept seeing these people. I kept seeing all these guys that was older than me, these lady that was older than me that had all these adult toys. Okay, they had swimming pools, they had four wheelers, they had all the motorcycles. I'm like, what do y'all do? I didn't never see them working at a factory. I didn't never see them working at a restaurant. I'm like, man, what do y'all do? And all of them had the same thing in common. They were driving trucks, and I was like, man, I gotta get in there and get a piece of this money. So that's what that I started driving trucks in '07, and then ventured from '07. That's when I went to school. It was like December of '07. I was supposed to be in school for 3 weeks. Ended up being in school for 4 weeks because it was a snowstorm, and I went to Salt Lake City, Utah. And that's the first time I ever seen a snowstorm like actually like it's lightning and it's snowing and the sky was purple. I thought Jesus was coming back. I was like, man, what in the world going on? Yeah, it was crazy.
They want nothing. As you're from Georgia. I know you live in Georgia,
Yeah,
but are you from Georgia?
I am from Georgia.
They
Yep.
they give you a hard time whenever it. You remember that time it snowed a little bit and iced over, and the whole city shut down of Atlanta a few years
Yeah,
back.
I remember that right there. But do you remember this? Where you from? Where you from?
North Carolina.
North Kakalaki. So
That's right.
listen, do you remember 1993?
Of course.
I was a kid then. But man, the snowstorm that shut down the whole world right there.
Yeah, I
But we
remember.
man over here, man, when we get if they say we may have a flurry, they shut everything down.
Oh,
It
yeah,
ain't no more bread, no more milk, no nothing.
that's it,
I
bro.
gotta go get some charcoal.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay, so over the years, you pulled a lot of stuff, right? All
Yep.
kinds of things. What do you haul today? Like, is there a consistent thing that you pull today?
Yes. I right now what I haul is hazmat. I
Okay.
love hauling hazmat, and I know you're probably gonna ask me this. The reason I love hauling hazmat because hazmat is consistent. It's like evergreen freight. It never goes out of style. It has to be moved. Okay, it
Now,
has to be moved.
what kind? So, can you share like what kind of hazmat? I mean, it's
Okay,
chemicals, obviously, but like what is it that you're moving that's consistent? I'm curious.
okay. So one thing that I just switched from one division to another division. So I was hauling hazmat waste.
Okay.
Hazmat waste. Everybody has hazmat waste. Okay, there is hazmat everywhere. Okay, and if you get over 1,001 pounds of something of a certain chemical or product or whatever, depending on what that product is, and sometimes if you just have a pound of it, it has to be placarded. But and it's considered hazmat. But like say like Coca-Cola syrup, that right there, that's hazmat when it's in bulk.
Really?
Really? Yep.
So, I mean,
Coca-Cola.
so it is so let me ask you this question because I try to learn stuff every time I talk to him, because you know my story a little bit. I grew up in a truck. I'm going to own a truck at some point soon.
Yeah.
But I learned yesterday something really cool. I learned yesterday was I didn't know this. In a snowstorm, you can't use your jakes.
Right.
Because when you hit the jakes, it jerks the wheels and it torques, and that could cause you to lose control.
Right. Same thing in the rain too.
Yeah. So in Coca-Cola is considered hazmat. The syrup is considered hazmat.
Yep.
So are there different types of tankers that aren't hazmat? Like if it's a tanker trailer, is it automatically considered hazmat?
No. You got stuff that's like eggs and stuff like that. Like, and you have water. Milk is not hazmat. No, right. Water is not hazmat.
Well, I guess that makes sense. That's just kind of logic, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I have taken water that was hazmat. Like I've been taking these water loads that's hazmat the past 3 weeks. Okay. And so that's that wastewater,
right?
That's hazmat. And then you remember when the train derailed up in Ohio a few months ago?
Yep.
It was all that water right there. They took that water from Ohio and took it down to Texas, Deer Park, Texas, and dumped it in the ground like a mile or two in the ground.
Wow.
Yeah.
No comment.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next question, I think I got somewhat of an answer. It's just, why did you get into trucking? Well, the money is clearly a reason, because you mentioned that earlier.
The money is a reason. I love it. I love the freedom, man. I really like having freedom. My freedom of my schedule. I don't want to be like on a line and somebody checking on you. I want to be able to wake up when I want to wake up sometimes. Even though I have appointments and stuff like that, I know that I gotta go and I gotta get a 10-hour break. I love having that 10-hour break right there. So I don't even get a 10-hour break when I come home. Okay.
You come home, mama got stuff for you to do.
I got stuff to do. Like I gotta go today to go work at the football game. You know what I'm saying? And then gotta get up in the morning and do some stuff all day tomorrow. I don't get a 10-hour break when I'm here, but on the road, it's kind of like peace. It's kind of like your sanctuary. That's why I like it. And then I got in it for the money. I like it because of the peace, the serenity. It's like my sanctuary. And I stay in it because I just really think this is my calling. I really think that the trucking industry, I would have never thought that, hey, look, that God would say, hey, man, I want you to be in the trucking industry. For me, I would have thought I would have been in church doing a work. But it's people that need Jesus everywhere. It's people that need hope and laughter and joy. And people need to hear that they can make it, and they need to hear a story of faith and belief and stuff. Like Deion Sanders, man, I had to come on here today. Do you think I care about what somebody says about me when I'm in this trucking industry? Huh?
Man, that is one of the best videos. I bet I've seen it twice this week, that Deion Sanders video, man. Which it's an interesting, because like one question leads to another, and I kind of got the answers. The next question is, what's your favorite thing about trucking? And it's the freedom. I'll say this because I am definitely not ashamed of my faith. Is I bet you get to see God all the time. I mean, all the sunsets, all the sunrises. Like, I'm sure you've seen some amazing things out there on the road.
In various ways as well. It could be a sunrise. It could be a sunset. It could be people. Because people, man, every person on this earth has the fingerprint of God. It's made out of the image of God. And each and every one of us have a distinct character about us that's like God. And so I can meet somebody over here who's autistic. I can meet somebody over here who's artistic. I can meet somebody over here who's outgoing. I can meet somebody back here who's reserved. You know what I'm saying? And so each one of these people have something in common that has the fingerprint of God all over it, And I really love that I can see all of these facets in the industry.
Amen to that. So next question. So you started in 2007. So the truck you're driving today is not the truck you drove back in 2007. So along the way, what has been your favorite truck that you drove?
Ooh,
Because today you
man,
have a T680 today, right? I
yeah,
think
yeah.
T680. Yeah.
I got a T680 right now. I think my favorite truck was this was when I was with Swift, and it was like a brand new truck. Okay, it was like a 2011 T2000 Kenworth T2000. Man, that truck, I love that truck right there. But the truck had some crazy stuff going on with it,
Yeah.
and that was like one of the beginning of the death and stuff like that. And then my truck had a some type of defect in it where the codes didn't show up and stuff. Man, the engine blew up, and I'm like, man, like it was crazy, man. Brand new truck, man. I had that joke about how long I had that truck. Uh, about no, about 3 months, 3 or 4 months. Then had to go get me another truck, man. Man, I love that T2000. That
Yeah.
joker was off the chain.
They were sweet, man. They were sweet.
Yeah,
What? So your T680 today, is an automatic transmission or like a 13 or 18 speed or what?
it's a 10 speed.
10 speed.
Yep,
Nice. Are you
yeah.
are you are you are you more of a, well, you're driving a 10 speed today, but like, do you like less gears or more gears? And I know a lot of that has to do with what you're hauling and the weight of it.
Well, I like where I am right now. I like the gears where I am right now. I've never driven a 12 speed. I've never driven like an 18 or 21 speed, nothing like
Yeah.
that. I've driven a Super 10, and a 10 speed. So I like those, and
Nice.
I've driven an automatic, but I don't really like driving automatic, and I don't like all that buzzing and beeping stuff telling you you're getting too close and it'll put on the brakes for you and stuff like that. I used to have that on one of my trucks that I had when I was with Landstar. Brother, I hated that because you can be empty riding down the road. Somebody cut you off now. You and it's raining outside, that thing will put on brakes and have you about to crash. I don't like that. Man, they need to check that out, man.
So let me ask you, what is your favorite part of the country?
My favorite part of the country, that's easy to me. I like Colorado. I like Vail, Colorado. I've liked that ever since the day I went out there. I like because I forgot what river it is, but it's a river that rides all the way down on the side of Vail, Colorado while you going through Vail, Colorado. I said, man, if I ever hit the lottery, guess what? You can find me there, Vail, Colorado, because that's exactly where I be.
That's awesome. All right. So these next couple of questions, it's like 2 questions, but it's like 4. So
Okay.
what is the craziest thing you've seen on the road, and what is the craziest thing you've seen off the road?
Oh my God. Okay, the craziest thing I have seen on the road was it'll probably have to be like an accident. Every time somebody asks me what's the craziest thing, the first thing that comes to mind was when I first started driving, and we was in Texas, and someone was driving, and while they was driving, they was like, "Hey, slow down, slow down, slow down," and you heard everybody on the CB and stuff like that, and man, it was like 2 people that was unalived. You can tell I've been on TikTok because you can't
A
say
little
certain
bit.
words. Yeah, yeah. So it was 2 people that was unalived, laying in the like because they had a wreck or whatever. They were laying there and they had sheets over them, and they was telling everybody to turn their CBs down. It was crazy. And one of the things that I seen right there was the solidarity as well, because there was nobody saying nothing crazy. Because when you get on that CB, people say everything. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They say racist stuff, they say sexist stuff, they say all kind of crazy stuff. But the moment that they got on there and they seen the 2 people that was over there and had the sheets on them and stuff like that, it was like it was crazy because there was some type of respect that was
Yeah.
there. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
you could feel the respectful energy,
Mm-hmm.
with nothing being said whatsoever. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
sad,
yeah.
man. All right, what about off the road? I mean, because you are out there in the middle of the night sometimes at these load yards, these truck stops, what's the craziest thing you've seen off the
Yeah.
road?
So the craziest thing I ever seen off the road, I guess that would have to be with me when somebody tried to open up my door. with
really?
I was sitting over there, and somebody opened up my door, and that was before I started locking my doors. Okay, that's when it was years ago. Somebody came up, opened up my door, and started asking me questions. I'm like, brother, close my door. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And I think that was in Atlanta. I was parked right across the street from the Petro, Bobtail. You know, people asking for stuff. You know, some people they'll just go around, open up doors, see if you in there, see if you're gonna respond, and they'll take whatever is in there.
Oh yeah, man.
That
People
got to be one
crazy.
of the craziest. Yeah.
People crazy, man. The world, man. We can go down a path, but we won't, man. But the
Yeah.
world
Yeah.
is so different than what it was back in 2007.
It
It's
is.
unbelievable.
It
It's so
is.
different what it was before COVID. It's crazy how the
Yeah.
world has shifted. All right, so this one, same kind of format.
Okay.
What is the most scared you have been on the road and the most scared you have been off the road?
Oh, wait. I already know this one. The most scared I ever been was when I was traveling through, I think, Wyoming. I was going through Wyoming. It was snowing. Yeah, it was snowing. And you know how it was the dust goes across the dust goes across the road, the snow dust goes
Yeah,
across the road, and you
yeah,
can't see it, and it seemed like the truck is moving slowly, and it's like, man, where's the road at? It
yeah.
seemed like the road is moving, and I'm like, that's the scared I ever been, because I was by myself, you know, um, that's probably scary, and I didn't know what to do, and I was trying to find somewhere to pull over at super quick.
Yeah, you don't even know where the road is. So it's like, what are you gonna do? Pull over, and you next thing you know, you're in the middle of the road thinking you're off the road, and boom.
Yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
that's the most scared I ever been on the road.
What about off the
Off,
road?
off the road, um, I would have to say I I really had never been scared off the road. Um, uh, uh like my wife always think you can't walk around like you're invincible, but I just don't get scared off the road. I just don't get scared off the road.
Well, hey,
Unless, okay, I got one. The most scared I've ever been off the road is when I'm at a way station and they say, "Hey, pull to the back," and they do an inspection on you. Like that's the most scared I ever been off the road when they going around doing the inspection. I had an inspection one time, and a dude came. He said, "Hey, we're gonna do a level 3 inspection, or no, maybe a level 1 inspection." But they was checking everything. This dude, I looked in the mirror. He closed the door. He walked to the back, put his hand on my truck, and just put his hand across the truck. Then went down and touched my death cap and made sure it was tight. I said, "Oh my goodness."
just to
This
look
dude
at
right here, he's
anything.
checking for everything. Yeah, yeah. But I passed it with flying colors. You know, he was like, "Man, you got to make sure you check this right here." It's something. I think it was like one thing on a trailer that he was like, "You got to make sure that you check this," and which I be dropping trailers, different trailers and stuff like that. So I just reported it to the company or whatever. But yeah, that's probably the most scared I ever been.
Wow. So, what is your top problem as a driver out there?
Mm, parking. Parking. Man, there's not enough parking. And it's crazy because you 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 would think it's enough parking, but now a lot of the newer drivers are coming in here who may not be that confident, and what they're doing is they're stopping earlier than we would usually stop back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So they're stopping earlier now. You think, okay, it gets dark at 9 o'clock. You thinking at 7:30 you can pull in there and get a spot. It's already everybody ain't got a spot. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like people parking on the off ramps, the on ramps. They parking illegally all over the place, man. There's not enough parking. I think that's the number one issue right there.
Yeah, it always is at the top of the list. Well, so let's talk about that real quick then. So, all
Yeah,
right, so you get to the Pilot Flying J, no
yeah.
spaces available. What do you do? I mean, because you did mention on ramps, off ramps, but like, what do you end up doing?
Man, I'm a lot of times what I do, I just end up paying. I'll pay the $15, $18, $20, and then if you like in Atlanta, It's $25 to park your truck.
Wow.
Yeah, so man, that's what I end up doing. I usually end up paying, and I try to reserve a spot, you know. And me, I'm not a person that drives too late. I
Right.
usually stop about 8 or 9 o'clock. Now I drove late last night, but it's rare that I would drive late unless I'm trying to get home to a football game or something with my
Yeah.
son or something like that. But man, I usually stop pretty much 8 something, 9 something to make sure I can get in there. Cause sometimes even when you go to some of these truck stops and you don't pay for a reserved parking spot, all the parking spots be gone. You know, from people that have just parked in there and just left, or they, you know, they're not actually checking to see who
Right.
has a ticket in the window. And so when you go in there, they say, okay, you can park at a pump or something like that.
Now, how many nights a month, or how often do you sleep in your truck? Is it you're on
Yeah,
the road, you sleep?
I'm home every weekend, so I sleep in the truck throughout the week.
Okay.
Yeah,
What do you do for entertainment in the truck?
brother, there is no entertainment in my. No, I'm just playing. So I got a lot of things that I do. So I'm into marketing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm either handling somebody's account or making content because I try to make at least about 10 to 20 videos a day, you know. Or I watch like some Netflix or something like that, when I done stopped. And what else do I do? I'm usually talking on the phone or doing a consultation. And
Yeah.
so usually, like when I'm driving, I'm usually like talking on the phone with my headset, of course. But I do consultations and stuff like that. So with my consultations, I'm teaching people how to make the transition from company driver to owner operator successfully, so that they
Got it.
don't have to lose their house and lose everything they got trying to get into the industry. So I do that right there. Then I teach people about marketing and stuff like that, teaching them how to grow their social media accounts, how to manage their social media accounts, how to create TikToks and reels and different things like that. So I'm doing that right there. So I'm pretty much full. Plus, I'm working on different podcasts and stuff like that. And man, it's so much to do.
Nice. A couple of things here on that. Uh, Congrats on hitting 100,000 followers on IG.
Yeah, man,
Uh,
appreciate that.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, man, you hustle. And the other thing is, man, I didn't even think about this, kicking myself in the butt. I got me a Highway Hustling t-shirt.
You know?
I do. Yeah, man. I bought it right after I met you at Matt's last year.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So I should have made sure I wore that, for this episode. Next question is, what is the most important thing for you as a driver?
I would say is safety. Safety is the most important thing to me as a driver because, man, you know, while you're on the road, like it's not like it was when I first started. There are so many distractions, not from you, but from everybody that's around you.
Yeah.
You got to drive for five. Yourself, the person in front of you, behind you, and each one of your sides.
Drive. That's good.
Yeah, you got to drive for five. I mean, I need to be a safety instructor. I need to come out the truck and be a safety instructor. Yeah.
I'm waiting for this. I can't wait for this last thing I'm going to ask you to do. I got 2 more questions though.
Yeah.
I know you're an owner operator, but you're still part of a fleet. So what can the fleets do to make your life better on the road?
What can the fleet do?
Yeah, the carriers, the fleets.
Yeah, the fleets. What can the fleets do to make my life easier on the road? I would say that I think the number one thing would be communication. And I've heard this from so many people where where the driver managers are not communicating with drivers, and they get late information, and you're supposed to be here, and they don't send you the load, and now everybody's looking at you crazy because you showed up late, but you just got the load, and they just relate the information to you. So communication is a big thing because they're not there. The driver managers or the brokers or the whatever, whoever is up there giving the information, they're not there when you got to walk in there and say, hey, look, I'm here to pick up a load for such and such. Where you're 3 hours late.
Right.
Now they mad at us. Like we're the problem. And
Yeah,
all I did was just got some information, and I
you
got the
taking
wrong
the heat.
information.
You
Yeah,
taking the heat for being late, but it's not your fault because you didn't get the information.
yeah, yeah. And so I think we take a lot of heat for the company because people look at us like we're the one that's making all the decisions for the whole company. Like and a lot of people don't understand that we don't control traffic, we don't control construction zones, we don't control accidents, we don't control none of that. And so I think that communication and giving people some grace. Like, man, you got to give some people some grace because a lot of times you think that everything, okay, just because it's a 7 o'clock appointment, I could have been and left 3 hours early. But if there's school traffic, which can be predicted, or if there's an accident, which can't be predicted, or if there's construction, which sometimes can't be predicted, certain things can be predicted. It may be a blowout. It may be something wrong with the truck. This stuff right here, you got to have a little grace with the drivers to be able to understand what they're going through. Because if we're trying to make an appointment, but we don't have the information, or something may happen to the truck, like it's all kind of things that can happen to the truck, and all kind of violations we can get from driving the truck. And so, just a
Nice.
little grace.
That's good, man. That's a great, great, great answer. You're my 7th interview, and I think 4 out of the 7 I have said communication.
Yeah, yeah.
Communications is the thing that the carriers, the operators, the fleets can do to make things better. All right, last question. What can we, the public, do to show you guys respect?
Oh, wait. I think personally, what the public can do is go take a CDL class. Okay? And I'm serious. I mean, because if I was over Department of Transportation, I would make it mandatory for each and every person that they need to go under. If you got your driver's license, you need to understand what a truck can do. And I don't think that people know, because they'll get in front of the public on four-wheelers. They'll get in front of you, press on the brakes like you can stop on a dime. You see what I'm saying? And we have to end up swerving and going in the ditch, killing ourselves, or seriously injuring ourselves, or tearing up our equipment, so that we make sure the family of 4 who don't understand anything about a truck can't stop on a dime, they don't know anything about that. All they're doing is on the phone. I see people all the time texting and driving. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying texting like this right here, like driving and, like this. They're like this without their hands on the wheel. And it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that the general public needs to understand the safety, the safety of a truck, and understand what a truck can do, what it has the potential of doing. Because if you don't understand what that truck has the potential of doing, especially if you're hauling like a tanker, or you're hauling some steel, if you're fully loaded, you're 80,000 pounds, or you get over in front of us, slow down, and then we pass you, and then you speed up, and then we get back over, and then you come around us, and then you slow down again, and we going down the hill. Like a lot of people don't take that into consideration. You think that, like, somebody, I got over in the road the other day, I'm driving, I'm almost at the red light. The red light is red. Okay, there's nobody in front of me. There's 2 people on the right hand side. I'm driving. I'm slowing down. Next thing I know, that's why it's good to drive for 5, defensive driving. I look over my mirror. I'm slowing down. Here come a truck going full speed, and cut right in front of me and stomp on the brakes. Well, good thing I was already slowing down, because I already was looking like, now watch this dude come over here and try to get over here, because he don't want to wait 3 extra seconds, because he in such a hurry. Slow down.
Slow down. All right, the last thing. This is not part of what I normally do, but I know I'm gonna get some color out of you.
Yeah.
Hit us with some of that CB radio talk, man. What's it sound like on the radio? What kind of stuff y'all talking about on the radio?
Yeah. So breaking 19. This your boy L Boogie. Hey man, I need to know if Smoking the Bear's up there at the back door or at the chicken house. It's Smoking the Bear up there at the chicken coop, man. You got a meat wagon passing by you right now. We know what a meat wagon is. A meat wagon is the ambulance. Got the meat wagon coming up.
I love it. I love it,
Yeah.
man. My my granddaddy's handle was Sad Sack.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that came from, but that's what it was. And God, I just remember in the early 80s being in a truck, just listening to him just jawing on
Yeah.
that CB radio all the time. So,
Yeah.
well,
I
man,
rarely even turn mine on now, man. I turn it. I usually turn mine on when I'm at a ship, and they say, "Okay, turn to channel 4. Let us know who you are, and let
yeah,
us know, what company you with and stuff like that." And so I'll turn there. But as far as being on the road, unless I see somebody, like I done seen people with blowouts and they didn't know it. I done seen people with a light out, they didn't know it. I get on there and say, "Hey, rubber ducky," no, or
rubber
"Hey, such and
ducky.
such." Hey, such and such, man, you got a light out back here. Your brake
Yep.
smoking coming down this mountain. Stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Well, brother, I tell you what, man, this has been a little it's been awesome. Thank you so much for agreeing to talk to me.
Yeah, man,
This
anytime.
is pretty special because of some of the messages that we traded back and forth. And one of the
Yeah,
reasons why I'm doing this was some comments that you made to me about when I told you what I wanted to do. So you
yeah.
helped me get to a place where I can put drivers in the spotlight. So thank you so much for that, and thank you for keeping the country moving, man. And for
Thank you.
sure, look, when you come to Raleigh, like we talked about, man, let
Yeah,
me
yeah.
know. Let
I
me know.
will.
And if not, I'll see you at Matt's again this next year. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
all right, brother. Be safe, man. Thank you so much.
All right, stay groovy.
All right, take care. Bye.